Excellent. Excellent.
That's what I said. I was telling them, yeah. Now, is these the church you were talking about?
Yep, go ahead.
No,
Because I don't see any.
there's not tables and chairs against the wall. Because when you open the door, all against the wall, back wall.
Talking about the folding chair? There's one right there.
Look straight against the back wall.
This one table, lean up against the wall.
That's right over here.
Two chairs.
You don't see the whole stack?
Oh, they laying down. We need to go turn it on.
You got me scared like, wait a minute, I know I ain't crazy, but.
Don't even go spiffy. He's spiffy in the morning. Look at Miss. Give me that
Miss
Jessica. Pretty you. Good morning. News anchor. Look, I'm recognizing. That's not media. That's not media.
Media?
Uh-huh.
She's our media partner. So
Okay.
Meredith works for Propel.
Okay, yeah.
And she's the organizer of this.
Oh,
so
wow.
making sure we get people in.
Yep.
Yes.
How've y'all been? Y'all appreciate the slowdown?
Mentally.
Yeah.
But even though we still having everybody show up at the door. Oh,
Yeah.
that's middle.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where's my baby girl?
She's been back there hiding because she has on shorts and a t-shirt.
So if I tell you, does she help me with two giant tools? Really? Yes. So I feel I'm gonna do something so special. She's just good. She's just sweet. She's willing to help and she helped me. I had some little kids that I needed, they needed to bypass a certain area to help me.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Awesome, okay.
Good morning, Miss Margo.
No, just
Yeah, here. Come sit down. I don't know.
come back here. Okay. Okay, step.
Everybody.
Step back.
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody.
Hey, you got your tour today? You got your,
Yeah, I got it. It's not until 10:30.
and he pushed it back to 11.
Oh, okay.
And then they have, wait a minute, and then they're supposed to have
A lunch.
set up.
Yeah.
But they gotta wait till they get the cameras out of there before they can set up there.
They're doing introducing it.
They're gonna do a lunches and learn the tour that you got after your tour. So it's gonna be a little,
And what jigger is coming in, and Evan's coming in at some point soon. Let me get this out of the way. Can I? Yeah. Please be selective sometimes. Jen, what time is service starting? So do I have that?
10 o'clock.
You have something special, like maybe before we get
No, all of it.
Okay, so they start at what time?
10 o'clock.
Do they have Sunday school and stuff?
Friday. Yeah, they have Sunday school. But they have Sunday school during church, but they have Bible study. They have it online, but I think it's like 8 I had it.
Yeah, but the regular service is at 10. Okay.
You know, they start.
Soap and water.
I'm trying to get,
You come?
yeah, I'm coming.
I think I need to go, but I'm just going to.
So water, a little starch.
Oh, you haven't been in person yet.
I've been off and on, but I have been just going. I've been watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. To try to remember. I don't know. Do they keep it one mask?
You don't have to anymore, but like me, I have to wear my mask.
Okay, so if you want me to stick them in here,
It's okay. I'll put them right here in my pocket. Okay, great.
It's a crayon boxes, all different color browns. All different color browns.
Yeah, it's real recent.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
See, this is all I see.
Those doors will be locked anyway.
That's sad. Yeah.
It's 80 degrees out. So I said, I think I should this is one of them before.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, oh, so I'm leaving, he'll be fine. Let us pray.
So is that
It's because I walk. Like I've got oil there. I'm pumping in my living room.
Knowing that, it's okay. I'll just make it, from the audience, just make it
With the little black thing right there. Are they itineraries?
I think so. I think it's the one show, yes.
Yeah, we want to see
Yeah.
how long. We can all.
Oh, okay. So we can take more than one. I think that leaves just one.
You're like,
Okay.
I'll just take a picture of it.
just black and white?
are very timely and start on time, but we're going to give them a couple more minutes to get here, and then we'll start immediately right after that. So thank you so much. Thank you. Well, good morning. Good morning and good morning, good morning, and welcome to Greenwood Rising, Black Wall Street History Center, and this one-year anniversary. I think it's just appropriate just to give our community and ourselves a round of applause. I want to personally thank everyone who took some time out to be here today for this this momentous moment in Tulsa's history and the history of Greenwood Rising and the Greenwood community, as well as the news agencies that decided to come out and share this information. And for those that are joining online, thank you for being here today. For more than 5 years, I've dedicated my heart and soul in various capacities to working with the Greenwood community to bring this beautiful facility to life. In 2020, the community witnessed the groundbreaking ceremony of this facility, quite literally upon where we're sitting and standing right at this exact moment in this spot. 1 year ago, in August 2021, we opened the doors of this facility to the public. And here we are, August 2022, acknowledging this journey and the 1 year anniversary of this facility being introduced to the world. In the planning and lead up to this facility's opening, we collaborated with many organizations already working in this same field of truth-telling, specifically the Legacy Museum in Montgomery, Alabama. That is where we first were introduced to the amazing capability of the expert museum design firm Local Projects. Based upon input from these other organizations, we projected a monthly visitor expectation of 2,500 visitors per month, with 30,000 visitors in the first year. Since opening August the 4th, 2021, with my team tracking the numbers on a weekly basis, we have averaged 4,600 visitors per month and and 56,349 visitors for the first year. So if you want to know why we're shutting down for a little while, you understand, I think we need a break. We have received visitors from 43 of the 50 states, as well as Sweden, South America, Australia, and most recently, a direct visit from the executive director of the Holocaust Museum in Johannesburg, South Africa. The late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said these words: fight for what you believe in, but do it in such a way that others would want to join you. Today is the day we collectively say thank you to all those great and small who decided to stand on the right side of history and joined us all in this historical endeavor. We are humbled today to announce another partner in the journey to bring the history of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre and Black Wall Street history to the world. Greenwood Rising will be the newest cultural institution featured on Bloomberg Connects, a free app powered by Bloomberg Philanthropies. We will be the 88th institution to be accessible on smartphones around the world that has already seen 860,000 lifetime users. Greenwood Rising joins other institutions located in over 30 cities around Europe and the U.S. that are a part of Bloomberg Connects. Virtual users will have the ability to experience the history and legacy of Black Wall Street, whether they are in Tulsa or Taiwan. For local users, the app will enhance their in-person experience. For virtual users, they will be exposed to a history they might otherwise never heard of. While we are ecstatic that 56,000 people have come through our doors in the first year, we cannot wait to see how this partnership will multiply that number exponentially. With that, please welcome to the podium someone who has become not only a friend, definitely a colleague, and in this process, someone that's become a mighty strong advisor for me. Please welcome to the podium the president of the Greenwood Rising Founding Board of Directors, Jessica Lobetz.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here to celebrate this incredible milestone with us today. When Greenwood Rising, when it was just a vision, the organizers knew that we wanted the impact to go far beyond Tulsa and Oklahoma. We wanted the world to know Tulsa's story and the incredible strength of this community. One of our capstone goals was to educate the world about the history, legacy, and promise of economic prosperity found here in Greenwood, also known as Tulsa's Black Wall Street. We initially thought this vision would be fulfilled by bringing people through those doors of this center. But we are thrilled to have this opportunity to carry our message to people who may never, ever visit Tulsa. The history of Black Wall Street and the Tulsa Race Massacre has important and relevant lessons that can benefit people from around the world who are desperately searching for hope in the midst of conflict, oppression, and violence. This partnership with Bloomberg Philanthropies, the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, and the Boeing Foundation will bring one more piece of our vision to fruition. On behalf of the inaugural Board of Directors, we want to say thank you to those who were involved in making today possible. Now, please join me in welcoming the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Historical Society, Trey Thompson.
Thank you all. It's wonderful to be here with you today. For far too long, the terrible actions that occurred within these few blocks in 1921 were hidden from the public. They were a source of shame to the people of Tulsa, and the conventional wisdom of the day said it was better to move on and forget them than to reckon with them. Generations of Tulsans grew up learning about Indian removal, the land run, and the oil boom, but the Tulsa Race Massacre was swept away like sand in the Oklahoma wind. It is only within the last 25 years or so that the full story of the systematic destruction of Greenwood and the murder of her citizens have been fully revealed to our modern generation. Thanks to a 5-year fact-finding mission by the Oklahoma State Commission to study the 1921 Tulsa race riot at the end of the last century, the truth of those dark hours was revealed. It was due to the persistence of incredible legislators, Senator Maxine Horner and Representative Don Ross, that the report was completed and our reckoning with the past could begin. The opening of Greenwood Rising 1 year ago ensures that this story will never be forgotten again. Earlier this year, I brought my 14-year-old son and my 10-year-old daughter to Greenwood Rising. I explained to them as best I could about the horrors that happened to the Black community on that Memorial Day weekend in 1921. And I asked them to put themselves in the place of the victims. What would it feel like to be living peacefully in your neighborhood one moment and have to flee for your life the next? Or even worse, what would it be like to see the people you loved killed in front of you? In the Tulsa Race Massacre, we saw the worst that humanity can do to each other when hatred takes over. But thankfully, we saw what happens when a resilient people decide they are not going to be overtaken by evil. Greenwood Rising points us to a better way of the future. The mission of the Oklahoma Historical Society is to collect, preserve, and share Oklahoma's history. And we do that through our online resources such as the Encyclopedia of Oklahoma History and our educational curriculum guides for Oklahoma students. We also do it through our museums found across the state and our publications such as the Chronicles of Oklahoma History. And today, thanks to a partnership with Bloomberg Philanthropies, citizens from around the world will have an unprecedented opportunity to access a virtual guide to Greenwood Rising, hear first-person accounts from the survivors, and to learn about Greenwood before the massacre. At the Oklahoma Historical Society, we celebrate when new avenues to share our history are created, and we are exceedingly proud of the work that Greenwood Rising is doing to shed light on the past and to bring understanding to our current generation. I congratulate all of you on your 1-year anniversary and on this momentous partnership that will educate not only Oklahomans, but those who seek to know the truth from well beyond our borders. Thank you all.
Thank you, Trey, and thanks for making the trip across the turnpike to be here. It means so much for you to be here and represent that this is not just a Tulsa story, but this is for all of Oklahoma to embrace this history. Now the honor to bring up the person that we're all waiting to hear from, and just briefly, Monica Basu and myself were sitting having lunch and had a small appointment with this guy named KJ, Kajunga Jackson. And we were told, you know, you've got to meet with this guy. You've got to meet with him. And this was in the fall of 2019. And I can still remember his vibrancy and his passion trying to explain to us in layman terms the technology that he had access to and could introduce us to. That led to what first became the first digital experience, and on the streets of Greenwood right here, 10 stops, that is the Greenwood XR Tour, extended reality. We were not aware of his immense talent until people on the East Coast and West Coast were calling him to get advice on how to do this technology. And he's right here in Tulsa. It's incredible to have that type of talent, and to be quite honest, to have an African-American male leading that initiative. It just makes the story and the spirit of Greenwood just so that much more powerful. So please welcome, and he will walk us through what Bloomberg Connects app will do for Greenwood Rising, Mr. KJ Jackson.
Well, thank you, Phil, for such a gracious intro. My name is Kajunga Jackson, and a lot of folks in Tulsa know me as KJ, and I've been here for a little over 15 years, and I work in the education space with our superintendent here, Dr. Gist, and we teach technology of all things, go figure, right? And so, but I'm excited to show you exactly what this Bloomberg Connects app is going to give us the ability to do. You've heard some of the statistics and the accessibility that is global now, that Greenwood, the story of Greenwood, what has happened here, the history, and even the center and what people can experience is now going to be able to be accessed everywhere. So I just want to give you a quick overview. What you will need to do on any platform that you have, you'll be able to go to your app store, you'll type in Bloomberg Connects, and you'll look for this app right here that's showing on the screen. Once you get the app, you're going to open up the app, and it's going to give you, and you should see on mine right now on the screen, you'll see it's downloading the guide to your phone. And so what we wanted to make sure, and what Bloomberg has done, is make sure that you're not tied to whether or not you have great internet access around. But once you access the app, it's going to download the guide of whatever experience you want to see. When you initially go into the app, what you're going to see is you're going to see a whole list of museums that are from all over the world, some of the top places and experiences that you can ever go to. And that's the great thing about this, is that Greenwood is included in that number. And so there's places that you may have heard of, places that you may not have heard of. It's an ever-expanding library. But when you get in there, you see right now, new and featured, Greenwood Rising is right there at the top. And so you'll be able to click there. Once you click there, it brings you into the screen that loads up the History Center. Once in the History Center, you can click on the Start Guide button, and instantly it starts bringing in all of the data. And what it does is every exhibition that is here in the center has been put into the app, and it's really meant to be a teaser. We want people to come here and have the experience. But what we also want to do is we want people to know, wherever they are, what might I see when I get there? And sometimes there's a preparation process that has to take place for individuals. And so if there's people who may never get to come to Tulsa for a myriad of reasons, students, different things of that nature, they're still going to be able to come into the app. And once they're in here, there's the mission. You have a welcome from Phil. You have the history, the story about Greenwood. You can click on the exhibitions, such as the Greenwood Spirit. And as you go into the exhibition, these are items that are here in the Rising Center that you would actually see, and there's little snippets. So there's little snippets of text that tells you just a little bit about it, because again, we don't want to give away everything because we want you to come, but at least you're going to virtually get to walk through every single space that is in here. So you're able to go back on the one I was just on, you'll see there's video that's integrated in here, so that in some of the spaces, there's extra commentary and things of that nature that's been placed in there. But you're able to walk through every one of the exhibitions transitions from the Greenwood spirit to the arc of oppression to changing fortunes, all the way through the journey of reconciliation. The other thing that we included in here is we wanted to expand it a little bit beyond what's just maybe here in the museum. And so Tulsa Pass, which was created by Patrick McNichols, which you see behind you here, those of you here, he has this uncanny ability to take and make the past and the present meet through photography. And so he has a full exhibition outside of the ones that are here in the Rising Center that have been included in the app. And so you'd be able to come into the app, you'd be able to see these items, you'll actually be able to click on them, read about a place that you would see here in the present, and then see a picture with an overlay of the past. You would actually be able to, click a play button and see how it transposes it right on top of the image. And so right where you're standing, you could see these things. And so this app does all of these wonderful things. We also have in here some stories and some interviews, some memories of those who were here, who remember that day, those from the past. And so that's all included in here. And so when you click on there, you can listen to the different stories that you may have never heard. And so those are all included in this app. And the great thing is that as new content and new things and new exhibitions come to the Greenwood Rising History Center, all those things will be able to be placed in here. And so in real time, this thing will be able to be updated. Last, I want to just tell you that when you come down, you can scroll down. Most of you know or remember maybe from last year that we had the Walking to the XR tour that Phil was just mentioning, that when you leave here, you can use your phone and you can scan markers on the ground and you can have buildings and you can interact with digital content using augmented reality. All of those things are here. So this Bloomberg Connects app is kind of our synergizing app to connect in everything that Bloomberg and that Greenwood is doing here for history. So whether it's the walking tour app, whether it's what we're going to be doing in the metaverse, which I'm going to show you here in a second, or whether it's what we're going to be doing in TV, all this kind of stuff, it's all going to be synergized with the Bloomberg Connects app. And so it's an amazing, amazing opportunity. So you definitely want to go to your store and look for Bloomberg Connects and download Greenwood Rising. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek because a special thanks has to go out to Kellogg and Boeing because they invested, they've seen the future, and a year ago they were like, hey, we want to make sure not only can people access this thing virtually, but that they can maybe have some extended experience. And so one of the things that's going to be launching once the education initiative launches for Greenwood Rising is we will have a full metaverse experience, which means that students will actually be able to go into this with a VR headset. They'll be able to do it two-dimensionally using a Chromebook, using a computer, using a Mac. They'll be able to actually walk into a space. They'll be able to interact with students and people from anywhere in the world. You'll be able to talk to them and walk through Greenwood in the metaverse together, and you have different snippets. And so all of these are unique, but all of them tell the same story, and now Greenwood truly is worldwide. Thank you, guys. You want to let that play? We can let that video play if you like.
Well, now you understand why when we first met with KJ, I hardly understood anything he was saying. And he had to show me. And once he started showing you, it is quite phenomenal what he's able to put together in such a short amount of time. So now that KJ has been literally introduced to the world, I'm going to say, Mike, Neil, and Justin, let's make sure we got to do whatever we can to keep him here. Let's put a lien on his house or something to keep that talent from being stolen away from Tulsa. But it's amazing that we have that capability. And right here, grassroots, able to say it started here and we didn't have to go anywhere else. Right here in Tulsa, we're able to develop this. So in closing, as we just passed our 1-year mark, I need to give special thanks to our dynamic, and I want them all to stand because some of them are here, not all could be with us, but I want to give special thanks to our dynamic Greenwood Rising docents who create an inviting and educational experience for all who walk through these doors. Please stand if you're here today. And this is just a portion of our team. They've been on the front lines facing these 56,000 visitors that's come through here. Special thanks to an incredible founding board of directors for their tireless work behind the scenes that make what we do on a daily basis seem flawless. Special thanks for our donors and an amazing philanthropic community for your resources and your trust in us to do this work. Special thanks to the Greenwood business owners who were patient with us during the construction and any inconveniences while we worked to open this facility. Also, I have to thank one specific person at Bloomberg who walked with us even when we first started the Greenwood Arts Project. She's probably in New York from Bloomberg watching now, so I have to say thank you to Stephanie Dockery. You always need to have somebody on the inside that's pitching your calls, and she has maintained constant and consistent relationship with us to ensure that it wasn't just a one and done or a check off, that they are continuing to be our partners in this work. Also to Seltzer Schaefer Architects, and I'm glad to see some of them here, Whitney Stauffer and Nathan Koob and Stephen Denon, who not only thought of this as another project to put in their portfolio of architects, but they believed in this, they took it on with passion, and it's almost like they became a part of the family here, and so I thank them for their work to create this and design this beautiful building. Special thanks to Elaine Pleasant Armstrong, more affectionately known as my mama, who not only donated significantly a portion of her personal collection for the exhibits in the Arc of Oppression, but as a mother, chose to teach me uncomfortable history, yet to do it in such a way that encouraged me to embrace all of American history, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Special thanks to Greenwood descendant families and descendants of survivors who to this day email, call, text, and even in a pandemic, literally hug and embrace me with tears, and our docents, when they come through here, with tears in their eyes to tell us all, thank you for telling our story to the world. And finally, I give a huge thank you to everyone at Bloomberg Philanthropies for making today possible. We cannot wait to see what comes from this partnership. The work of acknowledgement, atonement, healing, and reconciliation will be a continual obligation for us all. And we continue to choose to be on the right side of history regardless of something called House Bill 1775. I close with these poignant words that are affixed to the north facade of this amazing facility. The words of James Baldwin: "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." Thank you for being here today. Thank you.